We'll have a quick look at audio channels in this video. So far we have been using one channel of audio, just a mono channel, and the same signal goes to both speakers in general. If you want to use two channels, then you have to say so in the code. Or if you want to use more than two channels as well, if you have an audio device that has more than two channels. So here's the example, very basic example using Diskin. I'm reading a file called fox.wave. That's reading at the speed with one non-looped, with no starting offset and looped. So if I play it now, let's say give it an 8-second duration.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Okay, so we looped over several times for 8 seconds. And this is one channel, and you can see one channel going to the output. And by default, Csound has one channel. If you want to give more than one channel of output, you set the number of channels, which is the system constant, to 2. And now you can send 2 signals to the output. In this case, the Gskin goes into the output for both channels the same.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Now there's no much change here because what we're doing here effectively is the same as with one channel, but just we're doing explicitly using 2 channels here and sending the data to 2 different channels. Now if we had a pan signal, so a left, a right, and you have a pan opcode, then you can put a signal there and then pan it between 2 channels. So you can decide then, so it's actually pans between 2 channels, and then you can put a pan position between 0 and 1. So half 0.5 is center. So you send a left and right, and that will be the
quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Now if you go to 0.1, for instance, it's going to be more to the left.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
You won't notice anything because I think the microphone is mono, but between 0 and 1, so 0.9 is going to be towards the right.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown.
So the mono microphone won't give you the direction when you're listening to this, but if you try it in your computer, you see the effect. So panning is a way you can sort of pan a signal between 2 channels. Diskin also can work with a stereo output depending on the files you have. So if you have fox.wave is like a mono file, but if you have stereo files, for instance, I have one here called chololo.wave, and I'll set the outputs of Diskin 2 outputs, and then that goes directly to the output. So that's a stereo file. In general, the output of Diskin has to match the same number of channels as you have in your file. So if you try to send just a mono output here on the stereo file, you're probably going to get some problems. In fact, you will just miss the channel, the right channel. But in older versions of Csound, this is Csound 7, but in older versions of Csound, you might get an error. In Csound 7, it's good that you don't get an error, but you're missing out on the right channel anyway. So here, left and right, you get the stereo output. Just remember that when you have 2 channels, your output is left and right. So it's basically 2 inputs to the output, one for the left, one for the right. If you have more than 2 channels, then you're going to have more outputs here. So if you have 4 channels, you would have a number of outputs there, 8 channels, and so on. You can use the out opcode as usual. You might see in older examples of code the use of outs, which is exactly the same as out, except that you're actually telling that you see sound that you actually want to use explicitly want to use 2 outputs. So if you send one output to it actually works. But it explicitly sends the signal to one of the channels. So out and outs is exactly the same. You don't have any difference between the 2 of them. So in older versions of C-Sound, like much older versions of C-Sound, you had a distinction. You had out was only for mono and outs for stereo. But for maybe 15 years or more, this is not the case anymore. So this is just a quick video showing the number using more than 1 channel. You always have to be explicit about the number of channels that you're using, and then you have to send them to the output accordingly. Note that you also have 2 opcodes, actually one opcode that just sends to a specific channel. So you can say, I want to channel 1, send A left, and you can basically send the signal just to 1 channel or to channel 2. Okay, and you can also use more outputs, so you can do something like this. So actually, in this case, you're reversing, because this goes left goes to channel 2, right goes to channel 1. So it's another way of doing things. You can use out just to basically direct the signal to one specific channel. And the channel that you are going to be using starts counting from 1, is given before the output.